Pleasure to have you here,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Raina, and you don't need any introduction here. We've been having you, we have a pleasure of having you. So thank you for being with us. So we all are very curious to know things which you have been doing throughout your life. Bit of a research towards that, I must say. So we know you as a theatre person, we know you as actor, director, but I'm more curious to know how are you involved with the cultural activist movement and what is your contribution and who has influenced you to do that? So this is my question
I would
to
say
you.
my family. Every Kashmiri family is an activist family. If you live in an area which has been when I was born in a conflict all the time, a discussion always happens in the household, in the school, college, with teachers. And the grain is ingrained from Kashmir, I would say. Then when you become a professional, and I did not take up a job. And I remember what I said to my colleagues, friends, I said, look, field is open. All we have to get onto the horses and gallop.
Oh,
कोई रोकने वाला नहीं है. So keeping that in view was that there were a lot of things which I didn't like. Whether it was theatre productions, I used to watch my seniors work. It never used to inspire me, and I used to criticize it. Look, this is the interpretation. It has been made in melodramatic, all kinds of things. Then what happens, the environment affects you more. I remember, if you also will be remembering that internationally, a Vietnam War was happening.
yes.
And Life magazine used to come with fantastic, those horrible pictures of the war.
Yeah.
It used to frighten me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Through that, I entered a book that's called We Have Not Forgotten. It was a Polish book about their Nazis attack. Then immediately Bangladesh happened.
1971.
It happened. One was overlapping the other. And we saw the crisis in Biafra also. Africa was also in. And in that, then you take a kind of a judgment, start judging things, why it is happening. Why is Fifth Fleet coming to Bay of Bengal, for example? Nixon said it almost there.
Yes.
And then you have your positions, and then you see in culture, for example, things if they are being not. For example, I got the very first award, the play by state government of Delhi, which I refused to accept because judges had not seen my play because of my hearsay. And right on the stage, I said, it's a sham award, I don't want it. So I think that is to do with to look at certain ethics, certain truths, and you get upset about certain things. And history, both social and political history, nudges you, pushes you, and you are you have to take a position for that. That reflects in your work then.
No, but then you have to be sensitive enough to gauge that and reflect it in your whichever craft that you have
in the
excelled.
beginning, I didn't take a job because I told my friends, we have to speak ourselves.
Yeah.
After 80, we had terrorism. Don't forget that.
Right.
Which engulfed Punjab. I lost a couple of friends, like Khalistani, they shot them down, writers. Then I did a play which got banned in Punjab. I got person non grata. Without realizing what person non grata meant, I had to ask somebody, what does it mean? Then Kashmir imploded. And in the background, we should not forget, we belong to a wounded history from 1947. Partition is a horrible thing. We have not dealt with it the way Germans dealt with Nazism. They talked about it. They didn't hide it. They didn't say everything was good. Only you killed me. I never killed anybody. That kind of a situation. So those truths always bother you. I still think I think India is against fighting its own history and not even now getting its, in fulcrum in the place.
Yeah, because that's always a controversy. What is the correct history and who are the people involved with it?
That will lead to the
blame and whom to take it credit for.
You see, I remember one great historian called Irfan Web, he said, if new evidences come, our positions will change.
Absolutely.
Our thing is based on the evidences we have.
Yeah.
And now the evidence it comes from a Maulana who has been only doing 5 times on namaz, or a Panditji who is only doing Shraddh and Janam Puja. They are not historians. It is to be left with the professional historian. They contest, they talk, and that is what it should be like.
Yeah, I suppose so. And I always felt people who are working with kind of a fine arts, there's a theater, performance, who are sensitive slightly in their reaction and reflections are always mirroring the culture. And you being at least in the center of the whole way of the things were moving around, so you got caught. And obviously your reaction and your reflection are totally towards the activist. Whether to name you as activist, I don't know, but
I think
but somebody who's
to be an
conscious about it.
Every citizen has to.
I know, every citizen has to be. I think I'm going out of league, just a bit of curious. I'm not reading my questions. When you were studying in Srinagar, and that time the political scenario was quite serene.
Yeah,
I think it was nothing of that.
very
The whole
peaceful.
damn thing started in mid-80s, I suppose.
88, 89.
88, 89, yeah. Till then, and then you decided to join NSD after your graduation, I suppose. And you happen to have the creme of creme in the industry right now, who are the theatre personality. We know them, half of them, but it would be interesting to hear from them. Who are your classmates and what are they doing about? Just name a few to put you in a special space of.
Well, my teachers, I was very fortunate to get the best teachers at NSD. And the head of the school was Ibrahim Al-Qazi,
Ibrahim Al-Qazi,
who was not only a brilliant director, but he was a brilliant teacher. Yeah. I mean, a student would never dream even of leaving his class. He was so tough, but nobody wanted to leave his class. He had to give every time.
Yeah, I've been hearing his stories.
Then a lot of people had come from the freedom movement as cultural activists, like Shanta Gandhi. She was a student of Shanti Niketan. She was with Uday Shankar, then with IPTA, and then their own knowledge of Sanskrit drama. And she was teaching good drama. Then there was Nemi Chandra Jain again, IPTA, and then we had theatre design. We had Panchal Pathak. No, his name was Panchalji, Governor Panchal. He was a brilliant researcher in the ancient Indian art culture. In fact, he is the first person who documented and in scale made the whole exhibition of all the Kuriyatam buildings of Kerala with us, and we were the assistants to draw those things for him, with him, and then the came book. So they were the inspiring, huge lot of the Sheila Bhatia, who was our teacher in acting, again a writer, director, poet, music composer, activist, freedom movement in Kashmir. She was in Kashmir cultural, what was called cultural group or something. It was called. She led it there from Delhi. She was sent there. So when they, even if you sat with them, had tea with them, they were talking all the time, teaching you and trying you past and present.
So with such eminent people teaching you and you're experiencing their, what should I say, connect, who were the other fortunate one in your class?
Well, my junior was Nasir, Om Puri, Meena Valavalkar. She acted in Uski Roti.
Uski Roti.
And there was, who was there? My Prasanna was there. Rajit Kapoor was there.
Oh, there are quite a few known,
huge number
names.
of them.
And what was happening in the Bombay scene? What happened to the Bengal?
See, Bombay scene, how I got into it. I mean,
Sahani.
Bombay is not my home.
Okay.
Bombay is not my world even.
Yeah,
I just go and work there and come back home.
Yeah.
First flight which takes me home, I come
back
home.
And
the only thing is that I was in an NST and the hostel, and Nasir came, somebody has come to see you.
Oh.
So I said, who is it? My name is Avatar Kaul and I am Ramesh Bakshi, who is the writer. We have written a novel. Would you like to have tea with us?
Right.
So at the Bengali market, I had tea with them. While having tea, they said, do you drink? I said, sometimes. Come with us. So we went there home.
So you were exposed.
And there he gave me a novel, just you read it, I want to read it. I read the novel, I liked the novel, but he was trained in New York Film School. So naturally he was probing me, because that was the time he was making his first film, so he better be sure what he's picking up. And after that, after we had a discussion, next 2-3 days after, he gave me a script, scenario. So I read it. He said, you're on.
Oh,
So that's how the
that was
film.
nice.
Then I go to Bombay, do the film, and when the film shoot finishes, I take a train in third class sleeper, the newspapers on in the winter.
And
I'll
just-
make my bed and come home. He said, "Stay." I said, "No, enough.
Enough
both of
is
you."
enough.
But he
Let
was
me
a
go.
lover of art, and he had seen the best New York art scene. He said, "When I make money, I'm going to fund you, and you do keep doing good theatre." He loved Chekhov. That was his, so-
Lovely. You've done 150 plays as the, I don't know, I'm sure its number may not be correct, but this is my reading about you, with 12 different languages. How challenging it is to experience different languages with the craft that you are into,
The first attempt is in different language gets a little tough for you.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look at languages and if you can decode and listen carefully to Telugu, even
My God,
Malayali,
that's tough.
quietly, you start getting words or sounds, words of Sanskrit.
Okay.
So I had the misfortune of not continuing my Sanskrit studies. I left it at one point, it became tough
Some
for
point
me,
of
but
time.
it stayed with me. And then I keep a language assistant with me. So,
Oh, okay.
and then
But
you look at the face of a person, if you know the dialogue, what is, translation
So
with
you,
you.
it's
And
a
you look at the face, he's lying, he's not speaking the right line. So I remember telling a Telugu actor, in 80% actually, there's the word, no, never. He's called Kane Kadu.
Okay.
And he was, I said, no, you're not getting raw, it is not like, it's Kane Kadu. He just froze. He said, how
So how do you know?
So it is, you see the faces, you can see the body language,
Yeah.
whether it's truthful or it's not truthful.
How was it performing or directing internationally? I know just about Berlin, but I'm
You see
sure
what
you
they
must have done
expect
quite
us
a
not
few.
to direct their Western, they want
yeah.
us to do Indian things.
Yeah, obviously,
So
yes.
I did a folk Indian play on Bhavai form, which is a Gujarati form.
Yeah.
But it was a 3-month and a 3.5 months project.
No, God.
Right from yoga, because you see, they can't sit palti marke. They can't, they say Buddha posture. So I used to laugh, what do I do with them? And
They've
then
never sat like that.
I started saying, you have to come in the morning for yoga. I almost had to turn their bones around. And while that was happening, still things were not happening. I said, once more, "Main kyun aa gaya yahan? It's not going to work out." And that is a complex folk play with music, dance, etc., color, full Gujarati color. What I did, I went to Hare Krishna, Hare Rama shop,
Oh, so
picked up dal, papad, paper plates, and rice. I had a student who had done an Ajanta thesis. I said, Leela, you have to help me. On Friday, when we go for a weekend, before that, we're going to have a supper together. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to cook. So I cooked this huge in my own apartment they had given me and came. And I told them on Thursday that on Friday, we are going to be together. So please don't immediately run away after the rehearsal in the evening. So they came. I made them to know what is called a traditional food eating. Now, the one example, they had to wash their hands.
Yeah.
I said, there is no surgery to be done on the food. There is no knives and forks. You have to eat your hands. And I demonstrated to them. I said, it should not come beyond this. That is uncivilized. So you have to do, pick it up. And gave them a little Indian nonsense. You have to offer it to your mouth.
Yeah, not throw
etc.,
it.
etc. And they were watching me. I remember it was a huge 50 people together watching me. Hey, MK, how do you do? I said, dance your fingers. Because they're stiff. And this stuff. But credit goes to those people. They really work hard. Those girls, they never wore those skirts, Gujarati skirts. So I gave them a kind of a different kind of version before we get to the final fabric. And they were all day in that. And the challenge was, I should see chunni on your head all the time. It will not fall. And I was talking to one girl, she just picked up chunni and literally this.
Like that.
I said, that's it, you got it. So
So it's
you
an
change body
interesting
language.
episode, yeah.
Then I showed them Indian films also. I showed Satyajit Ray to them. I showed them some documentaries with them. And it was a long project. And
Right.
finally
Sure.
they
3
got it.
months is a
3.5.
That's a long project. Okay, since you've done it all and we know that you're a very well-known personality and we all know you and we all love you too, my concern is after all that was set up, theatre was about to perform, everything is in place, and something which worked either as a miracle or it happened really not the way that you thought about it. Any one episode that you feel.
I'll tell you, I have done King Lear in Kashmiri folk.
All right.
On Perth, which is a completely raw folk. They do mostly satire and humor. First time they were attempting a tragedy. And the actor, Muhammad, he's an illiterate, he can't read or write. He's a craftsman basically, makes kangris. And one day he did something, I was in tears. There's this last line when his last daughter dies. And he looked at it and he looked at the audience, you have done it. You are responsible for it. And this was not the rhyme in the play. And it hit everybody right so hard. I hugged him. They said, Mohammed, how did you do that? Why?
Yeah.
So he said, I have buried a lot of youngsters. And I saw this face. I was one of the first, and that is what it came. What is the greatness about the Asian actor, and particularly our folk actors, is this, that they take a skeleton of the they are illiterate. They add it. It's like a sketch thing you give them. They put nervous system into the muscle into it. It's only a skeleton. Then the pran pratishta. And each actor will do it differently.
Yeah, sure. And they put in their own bit of experience of life.
Actually, experiences that is in this case they are all bent of Sufi minds.
Oh yeah.
So whenever we talk under a chinar, it was always a Sufi discussion. Rumi, they will talk to me. We'll talk Buleja, we'll talk Rishi, we'll talk Laldat, and they will sing.
Yeah.
They'll sing them. So it was internalized, very internalized, very, Muslim kabra soft.
I think thank you very much. I think it's been a fantastic discussion and got to hear quite a bit from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.